Hey everybody, it's Never, and this is the official release of my visual preset thing for G-Shade or Reshade or whatever shade you want to use. So this has two caveats to it that are pretty important to know. The first one is that I'm using RT Global Illumination by Marty McFly. This isn't available for free. You've got to go through like a Patreon paywall to get it. If you just search for RT Global Illumination on the internets, you will find it. And it helps. It looks nice. But if you turn it off, it's not a humongous difference, and most people probably won't care. So if you don't have this, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If you do have it, then it's a slightly higher frame cost, and it looks better. The other one is the adaptive depth of field. Now, I've done something to work around this a little bit, but I love it very much, and so I wanted to find a way to make it so that I could daily drive this filter. It obviously blurs things that are not in the focal point of the camera, which is what depth of field does. So, leaving it on, I have used the UI mask, which Guild Wars 2 doesn't actually do, because you can see that the UI is blurred out, but I've allowed a little bit of the original image to always be present, which makes this barely legible text, even when it is greatly blurred out. Now, if I pull my inventory up, you can see that with a lot of depth of field, some of it is blurred out, and it's hard to see, but I can still make that 5 out pretty well. Or, you can just point at the ground, or point at the sky, not my face, but at the sky, and things stay in focus because of how a depth of field works. So those are the two caveats. Some people, especially if you don't want to have to work around the eye strain you'll get, may need to turn those off. And it's really easy. So in order to get this, you just need to go to the link that I have in the description, which goes to this GitHub that I use to dump this sort of stuff. And so in here, it goes right to this page, the link does. You just download this source code zip, and inside will be the INI file, and you'll just put that in your G-Shade presets. And the README that's in there too explains where you need to put it. Otherwise, you can just look at the G-Shade guide that comes with it, and you'll see how to do it. But once it's in there, you fire the game up, and assuming that G-Shade is all working properly, you just choose the preset, and then you're good to go. This is what it looks like with it off. Guild Wars 2 is still a pretty nice looking game, but there are a lot of details that are sort of lost in the way that it's presented by default. Turning this on, you can see a little more of the nice, fine, pretty things that are included in the game by default. And that's the whole point of this, is to make it more cinematic. So that's how that works. I'm going to outro this video by going around and showing off the pretty depth of field and stuff, so that you can have an idea of what you'll be expecting. And keep in mind that I do daily drive this. I was doing one of my attempts for the End of Dragon's final meta, trying to finish that off like everyone else, for a lot of reasons. And even with 50 or 60 people in there, this didn't have a significant impact on my frame rate. I didn't need to turn it off or disable anything to play as I normally would. It certainly had an impact, but it didn't make anything unplayable. So your mileage may vary, and this is designed to make things pretty, not to make them run fast, but it tries to make things run as fast as possible while making them pretty. So that's where we are with that. I hope that this is something that you can enjoy, and I hope it was worth the wait. I wanted to take this long to make sure that there weren't any goofy things wrong with it, like it being too dark to use in some places or blowing out the screen to white in some other places. And it seems to be okay from my testing and regular, daily, continuous usage for the last few weeks. So that's what it is, that's how it works, and that's about as good as I can make it at this point. If you have any problems, leave a comment below and I'll see if I can address them. If you find that it works in other games, which it has worked pretty well in just about every game I've ever tested it on, then let people know what games it works well in, and I hope you all have a wonderful time with it. Okay, thanks, bye. This is the part where I wait for those annoying YouTube end screens to go, because I hate it when boxes pop up when I'm trying to finish a video.